Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 13 of Hanjado, the way of Hanja. And now you might notice something different about the first slide here. In fact, and I don't assume that everybody watches all these in order, but if you do, you might notice that the opening slide is a little different now because what's different? Oh yeah, right. what's what's different is that now the months are being denoted not just by the number of the month. So this started, Hanjado started on the first day of the new lunar year, the Fire Horse year. And up till now, the opening slide has shown that we were in the first month of the new lunar year. Now it says we're in the what is this? It says we're in the in wall. If you can read Hangul, in wall, not the il wall, which is 1 month. It says in wall. In wall is the tiger month. It's the first month of the year, first month of the lunar year, and it's the 13th day, which is Ship Sam Il, and also now the opening slide shows the phase of the moon, because since we're following a lunar calendar system here, we're approaching the full moon, and so in the East Asian lunar calendar, oh yeah, we're still counting up to 30. In the East Asian lunar calendar, Ship Sam, that's the day of the month that we're in. Ship Sam, 10-3. Ship 10, Sam 3, literally. In the you might say, Kurt, this is the first month, but look here, in is the third earthly branch, and so I'm only starting to introduce this way of denoting the month and the day, because we're now doing the earthly branches, which is the earthly branches are used to so the heavenly stems plus the earthly branches together are used to denote and put in order the years of the 60-year cycle. The months are and originally the heavenly stems were the days of the week in a 10-day week, way back when. The legend goes that was back when there were 10 different suns, and a different sun would come up every day until the 11th day, and then the first sun would come back again. They would come in order. But the what I've been calling up till now the East Asian lunar calendar is actually the East Asian lunisolar calendar, and so the months go in the order of the earthly branches. Okay. They do go in this order, but they start here on a solar criteria or criterion for when the first month is. It's not the first month, or the first earthly branch is always the month that the winter solstice is in, and then the following month is the last month of the lunar year, but it's the second earthly branch, And then the third earthly branch is the month in which the second new moon after the winter solstice occurs. Okay, anyway, and then it just keeps on going in order. And we will do all of these characters. Today we are doing the character G. Let's see, put myself down here now. Character G, which is the earth in earthly branches, and in Chinese, especially in classical Chinese, one word can serve many different grammatical purposes, or can have many different grammatical jobs. So G is, first of all, a noun that means earth, just as Chun was, first of all, a noun that means heaven, but it can also be an adjective that means heavenly, Chun. G is a noun that means earth, but it can also be an adjective that means earthly, that which is of the earth. And this is something that I've mentioned before, but in the earthly branches, like the heavenly stems, each earthly branch is a combination of yin or yang with one of the five elements. The five elements being, well, here they are: water, earth, wood, earth again, fire, metal. Water, earth, wood, fire, metal. Now that's not that's the order, just as kind of going through here, looking at it. The ordering of the elements was very nice and neat in the heavenly stems. It's a little mixed up in the earthly branches. And another thing that's a little mixed up in the definitely different in the earthly branches, is that the element of earth does double duty. Not only is the element of earth paired once with yin and once with yang, but then it's paired again with yin and again with yang. Then that's how you come up with 12. Because if you just pair every element, of which there are 5, with yin and yang once, then you just get 10, as is the case with the heavenly stems. The earthly branches, there's 12 of them, so one of the elements has to do extra work. All right. Now this is from a little Chinese poem, a Chinese poem that also includes a mantra. It's the Bell Gata from the Essential Vinaya for Daily Use, which is a collection of 45 Chinese gathas collected by Master Genwei Duti, who lived in the 17th century. People who are familiar with Korean Buddhism will know this as the evening bell chant. But in fact, if you read this source, Master Duti says to do this, recite this gatha in the morning or in the evening when you hear the sound of the bell. And it goes, Munjong Song Bone Dan, this which is spelled out, it in both in Hangul and when we Romanize it, there's an O in there, but when it's said, the O is bit. You might hear it, you might not. Probably won't. Munjong Song Bone Dan Jihe Jang Bodhi Sang I Jiok Chul Samge Won Songbul Do Jung Sang Pa Jiok Jinon Om Gara Jia Sabaha. And this is the mantra. This is the mantra for shattering hell. And that's why this slide is up here, is because this word hell, which is Jiok here, and I'll go through the translation in just a second. The Ji in Jiok is today's Hanja. So the literal meaning of Jiok is earth prison. And here, here Earth is taking on kind of I guess you could say, a metaphorical role. It's the hell in Buddhism is a lower realm, and Earth is a lower place below heaven. And so it's the lower prison. Not every, so anyway, but that's just one way of kind of, making up an explanation for why hell in Buddhism is referred to as jiok. And I believe that this word for hell in Chinese predates the arrival of Buddhism in China. So it was adopted like many other terms, such as Tao, for example, and even the word so Tao, the Chinese word Tao is often used by Buddhists interchangeably with the word Dharma, although actually even when Chinese Buddhists or Korean Buddhists are specifically referring to the Dharma, they say when the word Tao or Do in Sino-Korean is not being used. The word that is used in Sino-Korean is pop, which again is not a Sanskrit word. It's an indigenous Chinese word. Anyway, so Mun Jong Song, hear bell sound. Mun Jong Song. Literally, this is a very literal translation for the most part. Bone Dan. Bone is kleshas, eliminate. Dan, cut through. Prajna, increase. Bodhi thrives. Ji he jang. Oh, this should be moved on. So ji he, prajna increases. Ji he jang, prajna increases. Bodhi thrives. Bodhi sing. So wisdom and prajna and bodhi are kind of the same thing. And the reason why this is highlighted in yellow is because this is another. See, this is not today's Hanja, but it's also pronounced ji, right? Bodhi sang, Chul Samge won Songbol, leave the three realms, vow to become Buddha, save sentient beings. Do Jung Seng, Pa Jiok Jinon. So Pa, shatter or break. Jiok, hell again. Jinon, mantra. So here E Jiok means to leave hell, and Pa Jiok means to destroy hell. And so there's a difference, you might notice. There's definitely a difference between just getting out of hell yourself, right? This part, just to get a little Buddhist here for a second, this line refers to the desire to save oneself from suffering. This line, Chul Samge, leave the three realms. So, well, three realms include hell, but also include all the nicer parts of samsara as well, including the really, really nice parts of samsara. And this line refers to a more, to put it kind of crudely, a more advanced kind of motivation or aspiration. This is only an aspiration for, to save oneself from the really bad parts of samsara and just to have the nice parts of samsara. This represents the aspiration of an arhat, or one who aspires to be an arhat, to attain individual liberation. And then this represents what is considered in Mahayana Buddhism the highest form of aspiration, which is not just to become an arhat, to attain individual liberation, but to become a Buddha, that is, to become a being who can save others. And that's what the next two lines refers to: save sentient beings, Dojung Sang, and not just leave hell, but to shatter hell. Shattering hell meaning, hey, no one's going to be in hell if hell itself is shattered, right? And this is the mantra for shattering hell. Om Gara Jia Sabha. Okay. There's a little Buddhism there. Oh, and speaking of Buddhism, so here's it's quite possibly no coincidence that the Bodhisattva, who more than any other Bodhisattva is associated with freeing and saving beings from hell, is Jijang Bosal. And if you do a Google search on Jijang Bosal's name in Hangul, as opposed to, that's what I'm saying down here, as opposed to the Hanja. And we'll look at the Hanja for Jijang in just a second. But if you look at it, you'll get Korean language websites, including some, the very top hit, if you just do a search And did I say Google search? I meant DuckDuckGo. Um, yeah, the very top hit is a recipe for some. This is the main ingredient in this recipe is kimchi, and then there's a bunch of other stuff, including, of course, lots of red pepper. Um, but these are all, for the most part, these are pictures of Jijang Bosal that you get if you do a Google image, a DuckDuckGo image search on Jijang, and you will specifically get Korean language sites. Now, one of the hits that you get here, zoom in on this a little bit. One hit is this interesting. This looks like some sort of a book, doesn't it? Well, let's see. Oh, yes, it is a book. It is a printed copy of the Kshitigarbha Sutra. Oops, come on. All right. And the title of the Kshitigarbha Sutra, so this is Ji-jang. This is the Hanja for Ji-jang right here. And the Ji-jang is in the title, earth. And then the jang part of Ji-jang is store, storehouse, matrix, womb. The next two words are bosal, bo-sal. The next word is bon, root, original, and then one, the vow, aspiration, and gyong, sutra, or sacred text. And so this is the, so I just gave one reason why you might want to, know Hangul if you want to find things out specifically about Korea. It's Korea as a country, Korean culture, Korean history, Korean Buddhism in particular. It's good to search around using Hangul, because that will take you to Korean language sites, and then you have to be able to, the online translations that are available now are actually pretty good. Anyway, but if you want to find, say, for example, the actual Chinese text of the Kshitigarbha Sutra, then it'd be good for you to know the Hangul that makes it. And this is so, like, the titles of sutra, once they get translated into English, they're all over the place. There are multiple sutras that deal with Kshitigarbha. There are multiple sutras that deal with, anyway, there's multiple sutras that have the word lotus in the title. And so if you want to know for sure which sutra you're looking for, and if you want to find the Chinese original, you might say, oh, Kurt, what do you mean Chinese original? The sutras are originally in Sanskrit. Well, the Buddha didn't speak Sanskrit in all probability, or at least he didn't teach in Sanskrit for the very good reason that people wouldn't have understood him if he had taught in Sanskrit. And there's another reason why one shouldn't insist that the original sutras are in Sanskrit. The other reason is that, well, they don't, for the most part, exist anymore. All of the sutras were translated into Chinese and Tibetan. And if you want to read Mahayana sutras, you're going to have to read them in Chinese and or Tibetan. Anyway, so to find the original Chinese text, do a DuckDuckGo search on the name of the sutra and add C-Beta, which stands for Chinese Buddhist Electronic Text Association. And what does that look like if you do that? This here is what I just said you want to type in the search field. The title of the sutra in Hanja, and then in quotes, C-Beta. And when you hit return, when you hit enter, then this is the URL that will appear up here, and you might want to grab hold of this URL in case you want to go look for it again. But in this case, and this is often the case, the very first hit is what you're looking for, at least what I would be looking for. And then if you click on this link, this is the very first hit in the DuckDuckGo search. If you click on this link, then this is what you see down here. We'll zoom in on this a little bit. Still won't be able to see it that well. On the next page, we'll see it. Oh, I can see. Look at this. And you might say, well, it's all in Chinese. Yes, that's true. Oh, wait. Oh, right. So what you can do now is what I can do is I can click on this link and show you the result. This is what you get. So now this is live. This is the actual search result. And let's see, does it show? Oh yeah, here it is. Oh, Kshitigarbha Bodhisattva Sutra, Volume 1. And now if you can make out the Hanja, you know that, for example, the two characters, the original vows, this is the character Bon, this is the character One. This says Kshitigarbha Bosal, or actually Jijang Bosal, Original Vow Sutra, chapter upper. This is upper chapter, I think, is what it's saying. This is sutra. If you click on the English translation, it doesn't say anything about original vow. So the English translation is that's being given is not literal. But this is really useful. Using going back and forth between the English translation, you can get a lot of mileage out of this if you're reading an English translation of the Kshitigarbha Sutra, and you want to dig deeper. This is one way of doing that. Okay. All right. So now, before getting on to how to write today's Hanja, G, Earth, we're going to once again look at these Forvo pronunciations.
地的 地的
I don't know what that second part was supposed to be, but
the.
oh yeah, so I think that's an alternative pronunciation. I'm not sure what. Yeah, D or da. And then I haven't tried this before, but it's what's being given, since I've specified ZH in the URL here. Forvo is bringing me to the Mandarin pronunciations. Now, I'm doing a separate search where the language code, the two-letter language code, is JA, and I'll show that later on. But also, even though I have searched for Mandarin, it's very helpfully saying, well, this thing here, this Chinese character, is also used in Japanese. And now it just took me to see up here the language, the end of the URL up here. The language code is changed to JA, and
七
and this is the if you know hiragana, this is the hiragana for that. And then it also lets you hear. Let's see if we can tell the difference.
They
This is yet another Chinese dialect.
对对
Hakka. Let's listen to Hakka.
七
Okay. I don't know what Jin Chinese is, to tell you the truth.
七
Okay. Anyway, I don't want to get too far. Okay, so now let us. This is the Korean Sino-Korean pronunciation.
G.
G. And here, I'm not gonna sign in. Sorry.
G.
Yeah, here the what's romanized as a J sound is harder than the English J sound. It sounds kind of close to a ch, what we would spell in English as a ch sound. And here's the make this bigger. You can see that the in Sino-Vietnamese, this letter is a kind of a funny D with a stroke through the top part, right? This letter has a subscript dot, and this is just A. Let's see what it sounds like.
đẻ
Now that D, the D without a line through it in Vietnamese is actually, I think, if I'm remembering now, I'm still learning this actually myself, more like an English Z sound.
Địa,
But that's a D sound, more like an English D sound. Dea. Let's see. Oh, so here's another.
địa chỉ, địa chỉ,
Địa chấn.
Nghĩa địa.
Okay, well, that's good. And now let's look at the Japanese pronunciation, which actually we already didn't we?
chi,
Chi.
Ji.
G. That sounds more like so. This, yeah. Anyway, so I do think it's good to be aware of the different cultures, different languages that make use of these characters. As I've said many times, as should be pretty obvious, the main focus of Hanjado, the very fact that it's called Hanjado, my main focus is on Sino-Korean. And now here is today's Hanja. With the stroke order diagram and the stroke order animation. So the first, it has two parts, a red part and a blue part. The red part is, in fact, the radical to, which is earth. So this is a character in which one of the components, in fact the radical, actually contains the meaning. Now often when that's the case, the other part of the a character will have the pronunciation, and that's called a phonosemantic compound when that happens. But this doesn't appear to be a phonosemantic compound. I don't know enough about Chinese to really say more, but this is altogether the character G, and even though it has these two components which are or can be separate characters on their own, when they are combined to form a single character, this square is the same size square as any other character. And so the toe, and let me just zoom in a little bit here. You can see that the toe character is here it is the same size as the G character, and also it's wide and fairly horizontal, whereas when it gets put into the G character, it gets kind of squished. And then the same thing happens, although a little bit less dramatically, with the other component, the ya component. Let me double check to make sure I've got that right. Yeah. Wouldn't be the first mistake that I've ever had in, let's see, you can't see what I'm looking at, but I am, oh, wait a minute, what did I just do? Okay, sorry, John. Okay. This is, here's what I'm looking at. There is an online version of it, but I'm using my own local version of this tool for learning Chinese characters. Looking at, I just did a search on the Sino-Korean pronunciation of the character Zhang, and here is, oh no, we're not doing Zhang, we're doing G. And here's G, here's today's character. Click on it. This is actually where the animations that I use come from here in this program, which probably in a soon to come episode I will describe more about this tool that I'm using here. But here it breaks it down, and yes, indeed, that is ya. So this is a good way for me to verify that I didn't make a mistake here. It's always nice. Let's see. So There are 6 strokes in total. The JLPT version of this, N4, remember that the N5 is the most basic level of, if you remember, the JLPT standardized test, which tests a lot of kanji. The lowest, most basic form of that test is N5. So the higher the number for the JLPT test, the more basic the test, which is the opposite of HSK. The most basic level of HSK, which is the standardized test for Mandarin, is the most basic level for Mandarin is 1. And here the radical number for G is 32. To is radical number 32. Strokes number 6. Okay, that's all right. So let's look at the animation. G il, G e, G sam, G sa, G o, G yuk. G il, G e, G sam, G sa, G o, G yuk. And I think now we're to the point where I'm going to write, and I've got to, let's see, bring in the Hanja cam. Oh yeah. And we'll look at me writing today's Hanja. Which is G, and it means earth or earthly. And it's written like this. G il, G e, G sam. And that's the to part. The to, which is the radical of this character. To is the, and it's also right here. See, that's the to. That's the radical. The second part or component of this character is the ya part. And that, let's see, that's right. And it starts with sam. So this is a G sam, G sa, which is 4, G, oh wait a minute, G, this starts with sa, this is G sa, that was 4, and I'll do this a couple more times. G O G yuk. Now, sometimes a stroke will kind of, even though it doesn't start at the bottom of the character, it will go and be at and end up at the bottom of the character. Actually, kind of underline the character in a way. And if anytime you have a stroke that does that has part of the stroke goes at the bottom of the character, then that will usually be the last stroke. Okay, G il, G e, G sam, G sa, G o, G yuk. G il, G e, G sam, G sa, G o, G yuk. G e, G il, G e, G sam, G sa, G o, G yuk. G il, G e, G sam, G sa, G o, G yuk. G il, G e, G sam, G sa, G o, G yuk. G il, G e, G sam, G sa, G o, G yuk. Okay. And now, using the Mizi gay lines to guide me, hopefully, let's see. So, to see where this line is, I want to start there. G, il. And then see how this line goes from this diagonal all the way down to this diagonal. This gets you almost down. So this is G, E, G, sam, G, sa, G, o, G, yuk, G, E, G, il, G, E, G, sam, G, sa, G, o, G, yuk, G, il, G, E, G, sam, G, sa, G, o, G, yuk, G, il, G, E, G, sam, G, sa, G, o, G, yuk. Okay, all right. So that's today's Hanja. It's a demonstration of writing it. Today's Hangul. Before we do today's Hangul, let's go back to the slideshow and look at the stroke order diagram for today's Hangul. It's composed of two parts, the consonant part, which is jiut, and the vowel part, which is e. And so here we do not have a bachim. That is a final consonant. We just have a, and we also don't have an initial. We also don't have an initial silent mium, which you have when it starts with a vowel. When the hangul starts with a vowel, every hangul is a syllable, one syllable. So this is the simplest kind of hangul that there is, just a single consonant and a vowel. Every hangul has to have at least one of each of those, and this one has the consonant jiut, and followed by the vowel e. And then over here, what I've done is I've shown 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is just a partial list. This is all the different, this is 10 of the Hanja that are all pronounced G. And there's no difference in the pronunciation. They're all pronounced G. Including today's Hanja and tomorrow's Hanja. So the Hanja that means branch, as in earthly branches. So both the Hanja that means earth and the Hanja that means branch are both pronounced G. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 strokes. So let's go back to the Hangul cam. And this is G, il, G, E, G, sam, G, sa. 4 strokes. G, il, G, E, G, sam, G, sa. 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 Okay. And now, to end, I'm going to also, as I mentioned before, the first step in learning is to remember things. Second step to learning is to forget things. And the third step in learning is to review things. And that's basically rinse, lather, rinse, repeat, right? But more than And you keep doing it until you well, actually you just keep doing it. Learning never stops. You can always add more, and if you do continue to add more, then you're always going to be reviewing. Okay, so anyway, so now these are the 10 heavenly stems, up to and including the characters for heavenly and stem, chun and ga. Okay, the chun and gan, so here is gap il, gap e, gap sam, gap sa, gap o, ul, il. There's only one stroke in ul. Byung il, byung e, byung sam, byung sa, byung o. This is jun il, jun e. Is it jun or jung? I guess is it jung? Oh, geez. Now, see, the review is important, isn't it? Yep, it's jung. Okay, good. Jung. And then mu il, mu e, mu sam, mu sa, mu o. This is gi il, gi e, gi sam. And this is gyong, gi is followed by gyong. Oh no, the first one is the Ju up here, and I often make this mistake. Ju il, Ju e. I mean gi, gyong il, gyong e, gyong sam, gyong sa, gyong o, gyong. Let's see, am I remembering? Gyong yuk, gyong chil, gyong pal. Make sure, and I'm going to check that one too. So here's the animation. Gyong il, gyong e, gyong sam, gyong sa, gyong o, gyong yuk, gyong chil, gyong pal. And this also displays the how many strokes there are. Okay, keeping myself honest there. Now, shin also starts with the yuk stroke there. Shin il, shin e, shim sam, shim sa. Shin o, shin yuk, shin chil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chil. Okay. Im il, im e, im sam, im sa. Ge il, ge e, ge sam, ge o, ge yuk, ge chil, ge pal, ge gu. Chun il, chun e, chun sam, chun sa. Gan il, gan e, gan sam. Okay, and that's it for today. Tomorrow we will move on to the next character, which is in fact the character for branch, which is also pronounced G. And we'll just as we go out, I will once again show the animation for this character. G il, G e, G sam, G sa, G o, G yuk. Thanks everybody, and I will see you tomorrow.